Hey everyone, welcome back to PokeMarketLab. Today we are talking about the top 5 strategies for success in 2025. I think these strategies, if leveraged, can help you have a great year in this bull market. It can be tough to navigate markets like this, so I think it's important to have a plan. That's the most important thing. That's not tip number one, but that is the most important tip in life and in investing is have a plan. So let's get into it. First thing we're going to talk about today is Pokemon Center ETBs. I've done multiple videos on this now. One of them I did recently was looking at the performance of Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs. Here's a screenshot here showing the percentage returns on Pokemon Center ETBs. Those are in blue versus booster boxes, which are in orange. This is of a few weeks ago, so it's likely changed at this point, but you can see the delta between those Pokemon Center ETBs and booster boxes is significant. And again, this is due to that stamped promo that is included, and it has created a de facto and collector box essentially for the Scarlet and Violet era. So I think that's a significant point here. We have the performance aspect, we have the limited population aspect. It's a limited product, right? There's some challenges there though. If you're used to deploying large amounts of capital to acquire booster boxes, it's hard to do that with Pokemon Center ETDs because the limit of 4, and obviously these are selling out pretty much day one of both pre-order and release. So it's hard to scale up. This is actually a really good tip for people for kind of the smaller money, people who are used to maybe buying ETBs or a booster box or two, especially considering, we're going to talk about pre-order pricing in a bit here, where pre-order pricing for booster boxes is likely to be significantly higher going forward in this bull market. It's going to make it tougher to get booster boxes, but above that or below that MSRP mark. This could be your opportunity to get some exposure to a really premium product at a fairly affordable price. So you can really, if you do have not a ton of money to spend and deploy, this can be an efficient way to do so. The problem is just really needing to keep your nose and your ear to the ground to know when these are going to release, and when they release, being able to hop on them fairly quickly because the market is really catching on to the success of these. But if you can get them, I think it's about as sure bet as you're going to get long term. I don't think the performance is going to change on these. I think the market's going to continue to gobble them up, and I think it's a great investment. But again, it's just hard to leverage if you're used to deploying, buying booster box cases and things like that. On to the next success strategy here. We're going to have to realign our expectations regarding pre-order pricing for booster boxes. It was just a short time ago we were looking at even Surging Sparks at $100 a booster box pre-orders, and that was before the market popped. The market's going to assume that boxes and sets are going to do well. And so that's going to be baked into that pre-order pricing. So how do we realign our expectations here? I think we're going to have to realign towards at least the $125 to $150 minimum on booster box pre-orders. Now, some people will say, well, don't pre-order, wait. I like to pre-order and get out of the way. It really depends what kind of investor you are. If you're a long-term investor, the difference between $125 or $150, pre-order pricing, it's not going to make a difference in the super long run here. If you're a short-term investor, there's at some point the bull market's someone's going to be left holding the bag in terms of pre-order prices, right? You're going to buy at 150, and then market's going to drop after release for one reason or another. It's only a matter of time. We're not on top of that, but we're talking down the road, right? And we're kind of coming off the crest of a bull market. So I think you're going to have a hard time finding booster boxes at the $100 price point again. So you're going to have to realign your price expectations here. You're likely going to have to pay more in the short term. And again, you got to remove the emotion out of the price swings. You're going to experience price swings both up and down, right? So you have to be fortuitous in terms of holding on when prices are going up. If it hasn't met your target yet, if you want to maximize your return on that box. And again, this comes down to what type of investor you are. Are you short term? You're trying to make 10, 20, $50 here, or you're talking long term. If you're long term, you got to have broad shoulders, and you got to be fortuitous and hold on as long as you can, and just put the emotion aside on price swings, because we're going to have price swings. We're going to have massive runs up, At some point in time in the future, eventually, hopefully this is years down the road, we're going to be off the bull market and price swings are going to swing down, right? Okay. This is not a buyer's market. This is going to be a seller's market. It's going to be much, much harder to find deals. You're going to have scalpers. It's not going to be fun if you're cracking product. At the end of the day, we're already seeing that with prismatic evolutions. This is supposed to be, I don't think $150 ETBs is good for the market. I think that brings out the jerks in the world in terms of massively running our pricing, scalping, fighting each other in Walmarts and Costco's to get product, to flip online and sell. It's just crazy. And no one gets, a kid going to GameStop to get an ETB because he does that every release with his dad. Can't do that because they're just sold out because scalpers got them. And if dad goes online to buy a box, it's $150 a pop. That's not good for the market. We want people to buy product. We want people to have fun opening it. I think it's okay paying a little bit more than MSRP if the market's a little hot, but this is too hot. So you're just going to have to, and this, one of the things we're going to talk about too is, this could mean if, the pricing that you're seeing doesn't fit into your plan, it could mean missing out. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but again, long and short of it, pre-order pricing is going to change. If you go into it expecting $100 booster box, you're going to miss out. So you're going to have to realign that. I think between $125, $150 minimum is good. And again, if you like the set, then buy more, then go all in, make that decision. And again, we're going to talk about that here in a minute too. It's just, decision points here. Again, so, making your own decision. I think this is, probably, this goes back to the plan thing. You have to have a plan. I think the biggest decision first that you need to make is how much money you're going to spend, how much money you're going to deploy. One of the biggest risks in a bull market is going to be wanting to deploy more money than you actually have available, right? The biggest firewall that you need to put up is not putting yourself at risk, your family at risk, your future at risk by putting money into printing cardboard at the end of the day, right? This is hobby money. Yes, you need to take advantage of situations, but that doesn't mean you go outside of your normal allocation of capital to put more money into something that is risky. A bull run is risky. Okay. It's not risky if you're selling, but if you're buying, eventually that carousel stops and someone's left holding the bag, right? It's like musical chairs. Someone gets left out. So just be the first decision you need to make is how much money are you going to spend? Okay. The next decision is what are you going to spend your money on? What sets are you going to buy? You're going to hear lots of talking heads saying, buy this, don't buy that. Do not listen to the chatter. Okay. Make your own decision. Listen to it, but make an informed decision. Take, those Reddit posts that you see, those blogs that you see, those forums that you see, those YouTube videos you listen to and watch, right? Take all that information together and make a plan. Okay. And the biggest thing is if you like a set, then go in on it, right? If you don't like a set, if there's no chase card for you, if it doesn't speak to you in any way, shape, or form, maybe the market's not going to like it long term, right? Maybe in the short term, the market might like it. We're in a bull market and the bull market likes everything. And that's something you need to be really, really careful of. The bull market is going to like everything. It's going to make it seem even bad sets are the creme de la creme, right? And so that's going to pull a lot of people in who don't have that decision-making capability to buy those sets. And it's going to run them up in the short term, but in long term, they may not be as successful. Okay. So make sure it's your personal preference at the end of the day and don't just follow the crowd. Be the smart money. Okay. And the other thing, look where others aren't looking. There's going to be stuff that gets ignored in a bull market. What is that? I did a video a long time ago now at this point about Shrouded Fable, right? There's going to be sets I can't tell you how many times in this world I bought cardboard, whether it's Magic, Pokemon, even stocks that are distressed that no one wanted. And everyone said, don't touch this with a 10-foot pole. And I made bank buying those things because the companies, that doesn't mean you do it blindly. You still need to use a plan. You still need to make sure it checks some of these boxes. But I guarantee you there's going to be just some distressed stuff out there that the market's ignoring at that point. Okay. So again, make your own decisions and be okay with missing out. If you get priced out like prismatic evolutions, right? Take a look at the Pokemon Center ETBs. There's something like $400 a pop on TCG Player right now. Now, release day, they may come down in price, but either way, that's way too rich for me. And that's outside of my budget. uh, hey, if you're a millionaire, it's your money to spend at the end of the day, right? Everyone's discretionary spending is going to be different. To me, I'm not chasing that kind of hype. I'm not chasing that kind of price. And there's going to be sets. I mean, people are priced out of Evolving Skies right now, right? There's just, they missed a train and it's gone. I may never get it again. You have to be, if something doesn't fit into your plan, if you don't like it, if the price is too high, don't invest in it. There will always be other opportunities. Accept your missed opportunities. Okay. Keep that capital aside. And I guarantee you at some point you'll be rewarded with some distressed assets, some great buy that no one else is seeing, some really good discount, eventually a bear market that you'll be able to deploy money in, right? That's where I've made most of my Pokemon money, is buying distressed product, buying Fusion Strike booster boxes at $80 a pop. Yes, they are almost $500 now. And they are, at one point, people were practically giving them away at $80 a pop. I'm not smart. I just stuck to my plan. I did what I always do. I buy product, and eventually you're rewarded. Okay. And just and you got to manage the FOMO. Okay. Again, there's going to be so much fear of missing out, and you're going to have to miss out. Okay. I shouldn't say that. You don't have to miss out. You may have to miss out. Just be okay with missing out. And again, and maybe it's, product gets expensive. You don't buy the Pokemon Center ETB, buy a regular ETB. Buy a few packs, buy a booster bundle or something. So that way you get a little bit of exposure to the set, right? Which helps reduce that FOMO because you have some upside potential there, but you didn't drop, $400 on a Pokemon Center ETB. Just be reasonable about it. Okay. And sell. I screwed up my slide here, I got an extra S, but that just gives this some priority here. This is, if you've been in this a while and you have some upside on a lot of your product, this is the time to sell if it fits within your time horizon. Okay. Maybe you're a sell to cover kind of guy like I am, or gal, where you like to sell a box or two to cover your cost basis. Maybe that you get a couple other boxes that you can kind of let appreciate, and then your profits from selling a couple cover your total cost basis in that set, and then the rest ride for free. So this is a fantastic time. You may not see returns like this on some of these products again. This is just a unique opportunity. It's a bull run. They don't come along all the time. You have almost every product. You have a lot of dumb money moving into sets that aren't even that great, right? So it's a great time to offload things that maybe didn't perform as well because they're really, truth be told, not great sets. That's a great time to sell. That doesn't mean you have to, obviously, but just if it's it's within your time horizon, you've been holding on for a few, especially a lot of Sword and Shield products, it's aged well, it's aged nicely. It could be a little bit of an opportunity to do a little liquidation, and that could free up some capital to make some decisions in the future here on future sets, or again, maybe sit in the sidelines, that money waiting for the eventual bear market that comes to pick up some distressed stuff. So that's it. That's my 5 top tips, tricks, and strategies for success in 2025. It's going to be an awesome year. It's going to be hard to navigate at times. Again, bull markets can be hard because it seems like everything's going to go up. It's going to be hard to get anything at reasonable prices. So just make sure you have a plan. I think that's the biggest thing. The hype. You've seen all these YouTube channels. You've seen a lot of Reddit posts and everything. Yes, I run a YouTube channel. Yes, you need to take it with a grain of salt. You need to take everything you consume online with a grain of salt. Just like you got to be careful what you feed into your mind, just like what you feed into your body. So just be careful out there, and you will do well long term if you have a plan and stick to it. So that's it for today on PokeMarketLab. We will see you on the next one.